In this video, I would discuss the harmful effects of diabetes, especially the advanced glycosylation end products and how these advanced glycosylation end products could harm our body. Here is a man that taken a lot of carbohydrate enriched food in his lunch. After the lunch, his blood glucose level increased. His blood glucose level increased with time. Here we zoom into his intestine. Inside the intestinal lumen, there are lots of glucose, and from the intestine, the glucose would enter the bloodstream. So inside the bloodstream, there is huge amount of glucose after the lunch. In an ideal person who is not suffering from diabetes, this blood glucose would enter liver and would be stored as glycogen. But as this person is suffering from diabetes, his insulin level is low. In type 1 diabetes, the insulin level is low. So the glucose inside the blood vessel could not be uptaken by the liver cells or the cells of the muscles, and they cannot be stored in form of glycogen. That is why the blood glucose level increase. So here the blood glucose level of this particular person is increased, and when the blood glucose level is pretty high, there could be harmful effect of these blood glucose, and this we will discuss in a moment. So when the blood glucose level is high, there are a lot of glucose inside the cell, inside the blood vessels. We can see glucose could be attached to the RBCs and attached to the proteins, serum proteins, and they could cause harmful products. So when glucose encounters the RBC, inside RBC we have hemoglobin, and with the hemoglobin, these glucose molecules could interact, and non-enzymatically these glucose molecules could get attached with hemoglobin, which is called non-enzymatic glycosylation. So here is a hemoglobin molecule which have four particular subunits, and here is the N-terminus of the hemoglobin, and we are focusing on the N-terminus valine residue. So with the N-terminus valine residue, what happens? Glucose molecule first attach, and they first form a Schiff base. After Schiff base, there is a rearrangement in that particular structure, and it forms a glycosylated version of hemoglobin, which is otherwise known as HbA1c. And this glycosylated version of hemoglobin is pretty dangerous. Apart from glycosylating the hemoglobin, these particular glucose also interacts with other proteins, glycosylating them, and other molecules. And these products are known as advanced glycosylated end products. And now we would see what is the harmful effect of these advanced glycosylated end product. But before that, we should talk a little bit more about HbA1c. So with the increased glucose level in the bloodstream, or that means the person have a prolonged hyperglycemic state. So with the prolonged hyperglycemic state, there is a lot of glycosylation in these hemoglobins. So this HbA1c level in the blood is also an indirect measure of its glycemic state of the body. So this HbA1c test is a popular test for diabetic patients. So this test also tell us about the glycemic state of a person. After that, we would learn how this advanced glycosylation product is harmful for our body. So these advanced glycosylation product could cross-link with proteins and form a clump. With this clump, RBCs and many other type of blood cells could get attached and can lead to formation of a thrombus. Now body's defense system would try to encounter that, and body scavenger cells, macrophages, have receptor against these advanced glycosylation end products. So macrophage would encounter those, and macrophage would secrete eventually TNF alpha and interleukin 1. So these TNF alpha and interleukin 1 are pro-inflammatory cytokine, so they would cause local inflammation, and for this reason there is a harm to the body, and also there is a chance of clog formation and reduced blood flow. So in this particular diagram, we have seen how advanced glycosylation product could be harmful. Now let's see what are the other complications of the diabetes. So first complication could be diabetic uh, cardiopathy, or when this type of advanced glycosylation product happens in the blood vessels of the heart, then there is an increased chance of cardiopathy. That means enough oxygen is not reaching into the muscles of the heart, and mainly there is a another type of symptom which is called peripheral artery disease, where the arteries of legs and lower limbs are mostly affected. And other symptoms include diabetic retinopathy, and diabetic retinopathy has a different have a different cause, and it is caused mainly due to glucose. When glucose level is high, cell take up glucose, and inside the cell glucose is converted inside the vessels of these particular retina. The glucose is converted by aldose reductase into sorbitol, and sorbitol cause osmotic damage to these blood vessels, which cause swelling and leaking out of the fluid. So this is diabetic retinopathy. Then cataract, glaucoma can also occur during diabetes. Another important aspect of diabetes is diabetic foot. That means swelling of blood vessels of the foot and leaking blood from there. So it's called diabetic foot, and immense pain in the foot. Diabetic retinopathy is another feature of diabetes. Peripheral neuropathy and risk of stroke is also associated with diabetes. So there are a lot of complications in diabetes. In other set of videos, I would discuss one by one about the complications of diabetes. I hope this video helped you, and if you like my video, give it a quick thumbs up, and please like and subscribe. Don't forget to share. Thank you.